Friday night football. That's right. Welcome back. This is part 2 of NFL Straya's mega awesome, ridiculous blowout over-unders season preview spectacular. I'm your host, James Clements. You can also see me on NBA Straya. Jim does Supercoach and just, I don't know, wandering the streets of Brunswick. Usually hammered. But either way, joining me as per usual is a bloke in a, I don't know, seedy looking hotel room because he's seedy. The hotel room itself looks lovely. It's everyone's favorite singer from a band called The Ramshackle Army. He's one of 2 singers in that band. Shout out, Nate. But either way, it's Gaz. What's going on, Gaz?
Mate, you're not wrong. I feel seedy, dusty, the whole lot. I've been back to back at this conference. Anyone who heard, listened to, saw yesterday's episode, I'm in Sydney, the lovely Novotel, Park NFL Straya, brought to you by Novotel, the call. I don't know, do we get a sponsorship here? And I went out again last night. And then today I was supposed to work, Jim, but we were going to do the NFC back to back last episode, but we didn't. We pushed it back for a day, and we're going to do the NFC wrap-ups today. And then there's a little bit of news today, Jim. So I'm supposed to be working, but I've spent my entire day on Reddit and YouTube watching reaction videos. That's pretty good.
Not a giant surprise. I mean, you think Jerry Jones knows how to work a computer?
I don't know, mate. At this stage, I don't know. Oh, apparently all he needs to do is stop the run. So that's if you read the interview with him today. But this whole move that's caused the Dallas sphere to go into absolute chaos, and his response is, "No, we had to make this move because we need to be able to stop the run." So anyway, let's talk about the news, Jim. I'll leave it to you. What happened today, Jim?
We're just going to get into it. I mean, this is it. I mean, that is the news. Micah Parsons got traded, and it was hilarious because everyone's like, dude, this is like, how did you out Nico Harrison when he traded away Luka Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks? The Dallas Cowboys went, hold my beer. We're going to trade Micah Parsons for a tackle. Was it a tackle who's about to turn 30?
Yeah, a Pro Bowl defensive tackle, but still, yes, a defensive tackle that is nowhere near Micah Parsons.
Amazing. Like literally everybody's response to this has been WTF. Like seriously, what the hell, man?
So yeah, look, honestly, and the big questions from all the media is if this is where you were going to get to at an impasse and you're making this strategic move, and they've made it sound like, oh, of course we told you we weren't trading him, but that's the game, right? Like, if everyone knows that you want to trade him, well, then their offers are low, so you want to tell them, so they have to pry him away from you. And the repeated question over and over again was, why didn't you do this before the draft and immediately be able to impact this year? Jerry Jones' comment was, but we've got all these ones now, so who says we can't use those to go and get greater players for this year? And this season isn't a write-off. Like, it just is all a bit fucky, Jim.
Yeah.
It's great for the NFC East, though. Like, that's fantastic. Like, our over-unders would have changed within 24 hours if we had done yesterday's episode. So, mate, and all of a sudden, the Green Bay Packers are pretty fucking scary. And who knows what the fuck's going on with the Cowboys. The Cowboys Reddit today has been in absolute fucking shambles. I'm not watching football this year. I hate Jerry Jones. Get that guy out of my fucking team. Blah, 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 blah. But there was some weird thing, right, where was it the Herschel Walker trade? No, there was the guy who leveraged the trade for the Packers side. His father was part of the trade for the Niners that sent Haley to the Cowboys, which helped them win all those Super Bowls in the 90s. So it's almost like it's flipped on its head. It's like payback for Dad's fuck up. It's It's been an interesting fun day. I like it.
Nice. I think my initial reaction was obviously same as everybody else, like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
And then B was like, is Jerry having a stroke? C, like, okay, so do I have to change my over unders? And yeah, it kind of changed it. Like, not many moves in football sort of tend to actually sway something like an over under, but someone like Micah Parsons being traded to a team like the Packers makes me look like Nostradamus with my Super Bowl pick of what is it, Baltimore versus Green Bay the other day. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
But it's one of
Really
those things. A couple of weeks ago when we talked, well, it would have been last week when we did the wrap, the pre, the forecast outlook, off season wrap kind of thing. We were talking about this. This felt that little bit different. There was that talk of, we've got his rights for 3 years. It's exactly what happened with Dak. We signed him. We did it with CD. Blah blah blah. It happens all the time. There was just something about this one that felt different. Like Micah was not gonna bend. Jerry was refusing to deal with his agent and still goes and pushes that point where I offered him, we benched. But he's also, we haven't mentioned the money. I think Jerry was offering him somewhere around the 40 mil. And the Packers have instantly done the agreement for averaging 47 mil a year, the highest non-quarterback defensive player, sorry, non-quarterback contract in the league. Fucking
So
crazy.
4 years, 188 million,
Mhm.
120 fully guaranteed, which
Crazy.
is, and then 136 in total guarantees, which is just absolutely insane, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
very good at him. I'm happy for him. Like, get out of Dallas. It's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
clown show in Dallas. It's hilarious. So
That
I don't
and
know.
that the North was already fucking one of the most competitive, if not the most competitive, in a positive way, divisions in the league. And now it's just insane, right? That's fucking crazy. So, yeah, and obviously the years that you want to make a big push for this is now where the Packers wide receiving core is super young, first rounders. You got Love's contract and obviously paying a pretty decent chunk of change to your running back. But getting some big players on defense that are game changers makes this. I don't know. This fucking Packers team is pretty strong.
It is crazy. Like, the North felt like the strongest division anyway, and
Yeah.
here we are. Like, it's just,
Mm.
it feels like it's just doubling down. Should we actually just start there? So today we're doing the NFC over unders. This is the win totals for each team.
Mhm.
Yesterday we did the AFC, broke it all down. The 16 remaining teams. It does feel like the AFC is top heavy, and then
Mhm.
there's a big, big, big creamy middle, which is, I don't know. Most of it's not very good. Like, it's actually, like, if you lay out, and we'll do our next week on next week's sort of week one preview season predictions show. We'll do some more sort of playoff team final predictions and stuff like that. It's hard to find the last two playoff teams in the AFC. The
Yeah.
NFC, you're like, this is a dogfight. So it's
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah.
Let's start up the top with the aforementioned NFC North, the most competitive division in football. Uh, which is kind of funny because I think the way that I've laid out my prospective records, the AFC West was like pretty close, obviously. But the NFC North, I had the Packers at 12-5. Their over under was 9.5 when I was looking at it before. That has already risen to 10.5. I'm still going to go the over, and I'm probably going to
Mm.
change my record prediction to at least 13-4, just because that defense suddenly becomes awesome. The offense was already basically a really happy egalitarian kind of offense with Jordan Love, all those receivers. Despite all the injuries, they just sort of still put up points. And now the defense is just like a whirling death machine. So I'm still going to go the over here, Garrington. What about you?
Mm. Yeah. Look, I want to go the over in 10.5, but I don't know that I'd get them 13. I mean, I feel like they're now at a point where they'll split the series with the Lions, and it is going to be tough. I mean, Mike is great, but he's also Jerry was right. Micah is not fucking great against the run, and the Eagles shown that when we have beaten the Cowboys. Literally, the strategy is run at Micah Parsons. That's what you fucking do. He'll overcommit. He will wreck the game. Yeah, look, he does have some weaknesses. So teams will strategize against that and will take it to him. So yeah, he is a game changer. He's definitely worth that extra game in your in the win column that's gone up there. But I still think that they did lose last year. They did get knocked out, but they are a playoff team. So I'm going to stick with the over on that, but not at maybe stick to the 12.
Nice. Well, the next team was also 10.5 over under, which is Detroit. They went 15-2 last year. They lose Ben Johnson, of course. They lose Aaron Glenn, of course. I think this is like a hint of a step back kind of vibe for Detroit.
Yep.
They were super, super unlucky in terms of the defensive injuries that they copped, but they're also super healthy on offense, it felt like a lot of the time. I feel like without Ben Johnson's Wunderkind kind of vibes, I feel like it's going to be a little bit tougher, and I think everybody will be gunning for them. A tougher schedule as well. 11-6 feels about fair, so that's still actually over. And that's what, 4 less wins than last year, and it feels like, yeah, that feels fair for me. Because I still believe like the Lions' defense should be a little bit better as long as like Aiden Hutchinson and Co are actually healthy. Like, just remember, I think they got to the end of last season, didn't they? And they had like none of their day one defensive like starters
Yeah.
essentially
Yeah, it was
actually out
horrible.
there, like at least on the line or something. It was crazy. So if they're healthier, they might be a little bit better. They might be a little bit more balanced. But if like every man and his dog is expecting a little bit of regression from the Lions, I think this year, and it's really hard, I think, when you lose both coordinators. Like your Eagles did the whole damn thing like over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I think it's just a bit tougher this year when you're going up against the Packers. Like the Vikings, I'm not wildly sold. I'm about to talk about that in a second.
Mm.
But like all the teams in the division are tough. So like all 6 of those games are just like suddenly like really, really hard. And then the rest of their schedule is also pretty hard. So 11-6, still an over for me, but a little bit of a tougher season, guess.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with everything you said. Going through, as you said, going through the constant changeover in coordinators, particularly if you've got an offensive head coach, your who is I guess the stable component, the defensive coordinator needs to understand who he's got and how to use them. Like even if you look at Fangio, we changed over last year. Fangio took until week 5 to understand how the fuck to get the best out of his players. Right. I think Detroit, that will be a regression, but they do still have a very nice structure, some very, very skillful dudes. And so, yeah, I'm going to go the over from them as well. I reckon that 11-6 is pretty on point.
I think the biggest thing we hit on last year for the Lions as well, like we were bang on this really, really early. Was it 15 of like the 15 of the 17 games or something, like 14 maybe, were inside.
Yeah.
This year, not so much. And we know that Jared Goff is a bit of an indoor cat.
Hmm.
He's going to struggle a little bit more, I reckon.
Yep.
Chicago, not the next team. It's Minnesota. They are 9.5 with the over-under. I have them listed though, like in my final actual record. So I've got Minnesota going under. I think switching from like Sam Darnold to JJ McCarthy, unproven rookie coming off a knee injury. Everyone's like, nah, it'll be fine. Like Kevin O'Connell like loves him. He's a quarterback whisperer. He's got Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, and now Adam Thielen's back. We also don't know if he's any good,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yep.
fine. He might have been your dude. That's cool. They went 14-3 last year, came all the way down to the last week of the season, basically pushing Detroit. And I think there's a big step back. Like the defense, like Flores and Co. will be pretty hardcore. We get that. I just think the offense with the rookie QB, it's a lot to expect them just to be fucking awesome again, right? Like I kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
they'll be solid, they'll be good, they'll win more games than you kind of think, despite the offense maybe sputtering here and there. But I sort of feel like it might just fall apart at points where you're just like, what the hell is this team? Minnesota is kind of like that sometimes.
Yep.
8-9 is where I've landed with Minnesota. And I could even go a little bit further low, but definitely under the 9.5. Like 9-8 wouldn't surprise me because like to lose 5 more games than you lost last year is pretty hardcore. Losing 6 is what I've got them predicted for. But I'm not wildly convinced about the JJ McCarthy thing, right?
I've got no idea. As in, like they're talking about he won't miss a beat. He's looking good. He's had basically an entire year worth of study ahead, and we're just treating him like a rookie. As in, he's ahead of the what your normal rookie would be, because of the extra year of study and being in that room. But realistically, is coming out to the pace of the NFL, where we've just talked about what the defense of the Packers has now got. We've got Detroit Lions getting healthy again. So these are just the teams in his division. So yeah, I think they'll regress a little bit. I don't. I think that 8 and 9 is right. I'm actually agreeing with you. Yeah, I'm actually agreeing with you on everyone so far, Jim. I need to find something spicy to disagree with you on.
All right, let's go to the Bears then. 7.5 was their over under. I've just gone to tick over at 8 and 9, which is the same as the Vikings. So
Yep.
it sort of feels like there's obviously a lot of upside in this Bears team. Now that Ben Johnson comes in, isn't bad. Like, as long as he's not a horrible coach, which I don't think he will
Yep.
be. He had his choice of like all these gigs that he wanted. He landed this one. He's got Caleb Williams. He's got Roma Dunze. He's got Colston Loveland, their first round tight end draft pick.
Yep.
DeAndre Swift in the backfield. I don't know. Like, I think they improve a little bit. 8 and 9 feels about right. That's 3 wins more than last year. And last year felt like they just were using dudes wrong, like all the
Yep.
fucking. And I feel like Ben Johnson will take a little while to figure that out. Like a lot of his thing, obviously, in the preseason, we've figured out he's bang on about, oh, check this out. Everything's about timing. Throw my balls on time. I need you to be on time. Do this, do that. Do it the exact way we need you to do it, or fuck off. And I
Yep.
think it's probably be a bit of a slow start, but I think halfway through the season they'll be solid. They'll be good. They'll be kind of fun. They could be pushing for like a playoff spot, but I feel like they ultimately like level out at 8 and 9. Like it's crazy
Yep.
they start the season off against the Vikings because like both these teams were both like everyone's gonna like fucked if I know.
Yep.
They're probably good. We don't know. Like, but either way, 8 and 9 for me. That's an over. What do you reckon?
Yeah, 100%. There's too many questions. I feel like if it was in any other division, that you could you could bank them for a few more. But I don't know. It just feels it's hard to see them winning against either the Packers or the Lions. So there's 4 losses instantly. And so yeah, I think a little bit in towards the over, but not not a massive improvement of the we won the off season again for the 15th year as the Bears go about. But there's reason to be thinking positive as a Bears fan. They've actually given Caleb enough of a chance now. We'll actually see fucking how good actually is he? Got the weapons, got the coach. Excuses are gone.
I do like that. Like it is a weird start to their season. Like if they lose that Vikings game, it gets pretty hard. They play at the Lions in week 2. Then
Fuck.
then they host the Cowboys, which like who knows what the Cowboys are going to look like. Then they have the Raiders, Commanders, Saints. So like it could be a really weird start to the season for Chicago. But I'm kind of on board. I want to see them do well. I just want to see them do well, guys. Come on. Uh let's go to the NFC South. We'll save your division for last. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 9.5, which feels weirdly unders. I've gone way over. I've gone 12.5 because I think Tampa Bay are this sort of weird team that people have now cottoned on to. They're sitting in plain sight, but I don't know if we realize just how good they could be. Like Baker was that good last year. The big question is like, can he continue that, or is he going to Baker it up,
Mm,
or is he now like just that dude? And I think he might just be that dude. I'm not wildly
yep.
convinced, but I'm going to err on the side of yeah, he is. And like with that offense, all those weapons, what is it? Emeka Egbuka looks unreal. You've still got Mike Evans. You got Bucky Irving. Decent defense. I think they're good. I think they go 12-5. I think they fucking smash this over because the rest of the division could be dog shit.
Yeah, there are a lot of questions in the South. Well, there's a question in fucking every team, top to bottom. Like, what is their biggest question? But Atlanta, we're all kind of assuming that they improve. We're kind of a full year of Penix, and even you look at the fantasy rankings for people like Bijan going first overall in a lot of drafts and stuff, the expectations of what he's going to do this year are quite up there. Um, yeah, it feels like the Falcons are going to be plucky this year. Panthers are now starting to, Young came on in the second half of last year. So these games that you would have assumed Tampa Bay would kind of walk over, are now not that easy. And if you're looking down their schedule, they've got to play Philly, they've got Detroit, they've got Buffalo. So there are some really challenging playoff teams that they're going to have to face. So I'm comfortable with the over. I still think they're a double digit team, but I'm not as bullish as thinking they're going to get it 12. So I'll put them down for 10 wins.
Nice. Don't mind that. Still go over. Happy days.
Yeah.
So like that was kind of my thing, like going back through last year's records, and I'm like, I don't want to just give them the same record because they went 10-7 last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I might have started there, and I'm like, they're better than they were last year, and I think some of these other teams are a bit shitter. Speaking of shitter, 8-9 last year, the Atlanta Falcons. I've got them going 8-9 again, so completely shit on this one, but that is still what like a half game over because they're over under 7.5 for the Falcons. I just think a full year of Penix,
Yeah.
even though they lose their right offensive tackle, right? So the right guard, which is Penix's blind side, I think, because he's left-handed, could be a bit janky. And as soon as this sort of all broke, I got a little bit more, I don't know, pessimistic maybe to the point where 8-9, I'm probably more swinging down 6 or 7 wins because I think the defense, I don't know, there's some questions about that. The offense, obviously massive weapons, but yeah, Atlanta, I don't know, Penix looked great. He's not Kirk Cousins. I want to still go the over though, so I'm happy to take the 8-9 and say over for the Falcons.
Yeah. The 7.5, it feels low. I don't know whether I'm just absorbing the hype. It does feel low, so I think I'll go over. But as I said, if we expect them to split half their division games because we think Tampa's going to be decent, we think that Carolina's going to be on the improve. They also play people like Buffalo and Washington and San Fran, so they're going to be some really fucking tough games. But they also kind of play Indy, for New Orleans, New York. The second half of their schedule, apart from a Rams game, second half of their schedule seems pretty decent. So they might start under 800 and then get some nice quick wins towards the end.
Nice. Carolina, 6.5 is their over under this year. I've actually got them going under. They are a hypey team right now, but don't sleep
Mhm.
on Carolina. They could go from last to like. It's like, all right, fucking pump the brakes. Their defense was still like just shit house. Like
Yep.
just shit house. Yes, they've got Ted McMillan. Maybe Bryce Young isn't horrible, but I don't know. 6-11 still feels okay-ish. Last year they went 5-12 because they just pulled a bunch of wins out of their ass down the stretch. They do start off against the Jags in week 1, which is hilarious because you're like, sure. Like, what an awesome array of like fans that's going to be Panthers versus Jags. But like, I think I'm a bit of a Carolina kind of optimist, but not to the point where they're going to win a shit ton more games just because that defense has been so abysmal last year. And Bryce Young, yes, he found his sea legs, but it was in the back half of the season when everyone just stopped fucking caring, right? When they were playing the
Yeah.
Panthers. So I still feel like, yes, 6-11 is good. That's one more win than last year. Maybe they go over and win 7 games. It's just, I don't know. I have a lot of questions about the D. So under 6.5 by going 6-11. Garrington.
Oh, so yeah, I think that the biggest question on this team has to be, was that has Young found himself, or was that kind of a flash in the pan little purple patch? Or like has it really truly clicked for him? Like you kind of want it to, because what he started out in the first, season and a half and being benched and blah 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 as a number one overall pick was it was a bit fucking sad, to be fair. And you just were like, oh, come on, can you just give poor Carolina fans just a bit of a chance, right? They've been terrible for a while, but then they've built some weapons around him. If he's got someone to throw to, and he's shown that he belongs in this league. So is he going to be able to drive that home? it is a kind of middle of the road division, as we've mentioned. It's kind of that going to be caught around that middle, those double digit wins. I don't think they're not that high. I think I want to go the over and be that optimistic Carolina Panthers watcher. So what have we got there? What's that, 6.5? Yeah, I'm going the over on that. I reckon they're worth about 7 or 8.
Yeah, like that's kind of the tricky. Like this is it's like a Bengals question as well, right? Like if you've got a
Yeah,
horrible defense, like, and if you get into a bunch of shootouts, yeah, you're going to win some of them. You're also going to get your head kicked in some of them.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
uh, and I feel like it's still a very young, like kind of weird offense as well. So I don't know. And then finally, the Saints. People are rightly down on the Saints.
Yes,
And I do think,
yes.
like their over under is 5.5, and I've gone under, but I've got them at 5-12 because I feel like every year we go, that team is fucking horrible. And then like every year, like one of those horrible seeming teams just isn't as shit as you think they are. And like win a couple of extra games where you're like, what the fuck was that? The Saints kind of feel like that team, but having been in Cap Hell, they've now got Kellen Moore as a coach. They've got, I think my favorite thing I did for, was it this show or for Jim Does Supercoach? But Spencer Rattler being their QB is 100% like going, Mum, can we have a Patrick Mahomes at QB? And your mum's like, we've got Patrick Mahomes at home. And then it's Spencer Rattler. And you're like, oh, this sucks. Like he kind of, like from afar, he kind of looks like Patrick Mahomes, but he's fucking shit. So I don't know. Chris Olave's still there. Kamara's still there. They'll win a couple of weird games that you don't expect them to, but they're not going to be very good. I'm still going under.
Yeah, I can't see where they are getting games, right? Like I'm running down. It depends on what becomes of Arizona. You think Seattle's got them covered. San Fran's got them covered. You got Buffalo, you got Rams. New York, maybe they scoop out some wins.
Maybe
Like
hard,
I don't
yeah.
know how they. I can't see them getting. I don't. I'm looking down the schedule and I can't find 5 wins, Jim. I just can't.
Just
Not with
like
Spencer Rattler. And this is just. All right, we got Kellen Moore in as a coach. We will commit to you, Kellen. We will definitely commit to you not being one and done. So this is a fucking. This is a ride. This get the #1 draft pick. Go after Archie Manning. Like, is that got that written all over it?
yeah, 100%. It does.
Yeah.
Like there are like weird janky games down the stretch for them against like the Jets and the Titans and the Panthers and
Yeah.
stuff like that where they might just pull a couple out, but I still think definitely under.
Yeah.
NFC worst. Last year the Rams went 10-7. I went the under last year. They were 8.5. Now they're 9.5, and I'm going under again, guys. This Stafford thing, I can't like lean into and go, no, the Rams will be fine. Like the biggest thing that you hear whenever like everyone's talking about Matt Stafford is like, oh, you know what? No, you never hear anyone say with a bad back. I used to have a bad back. It's like, oh yeah, well, you kind of do. Just settle down. Like a blanket statement. But all the worries around Stafford really just got me fucking a little bit shook. I've got them 7-10. If they have Jimmy G out there instead, I don't know about that. Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, awesome. Kyron Williams, radical. But if it's Jimmy G instead of Stafford, or if it's a limited Stafford, like I just really worry. Like the defense is really fucking solid last year. We get that. Nice rebound, nice rebuild on the fly. But
Mm.
that offensive questions, I can't do it. I just can't do it, Gas.
I mean, look, with this lineup, you only need to be half decent at quarterback to be a playoff team. With, Kyron Williams, Puka, now having Devontae Adams and Tutu Atwell. With Higby, like, they're pretty stacked on offense. And as you said, Jared Verse was fucking hectic last year in his rookie season. So that defense was a surprise. They've added weapons on offense. So I don't know. I know that the Stafford thing has been lingering, but if they were concerned, I don't know whether I think too much of these people, but if they were concerned, would they have gone after Devontae? I don't know. Like, so I'm gonna have faith in the Rams and go, you know what, I'm gonna go the over.
I'll pay that because like the McVay sort of situation, you kind of always want to just trust in the McVay process, but I don't know. I just don't fuck with backs. Seattle, their over under is randomly only 7.5, which I was just like taken aback by. I've got them over at 8 and 9 because I was like a little bit more bullish initially, and then you sort of slightly, I don't know, took a step back, went, right a minute, righto, just like, let's fucking pump the brakes again. The defense was pretty solid last year. This year, you've got Sam Darnold. I do worry that last year in Minnesota, that was just like a fucking Sam Darnold flash in the pan. I really worry about him going in there and just going, oh, wait a minute, still Sam Darnold, check this out, I'm shit. And it all just goes really fucking sideways. No DK, no Tyler Lockett. You've got JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Love that for him. Love that for my super coach team because he's going to get all the fucking targets. They've got Cooper Kupp, Kenny Walker, Zach Charbonnet. Cool. I just feel pretty uninspired by them. They went 10-7 last year. And my biggest problem, though, is the Darnold factor. Like, Geno was
Yeah.
Geno. He was awesome. I reckon if there's like a hint of a step back for Darnold, this could go fucking squirrely real quick.
Yeah, we honestly don't know. And he was obviously the good news story last year. Seattle were the surprise. I don't think we expected them to hit where they hit. Um, but then Gino, but then Darnold got really, really found out in back-to-back games in the playoffs and just fucking was, they're expecting the number one seed to fucking come storming in and all that sort of stuff, them versus the Lions. And then when they actually got to playoffs, he became, the old school, the Jets Darnold, right? So, his last two records have not been great. So let's see what this season turns into him for.
Then we've got the Cardinals at 8.5 with their over under. This is my spoiler alert division winner, 11-6. I think the Cards are like, everyone's like, nah, just bored. If Kyler Murray stays healthy, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, James Conner, I kind of feel like, 8-9 last year? Their over under last year was only 6.5. So they kind of were like, I think, spent a lot of time beating up on shittier teams in them. If they take
Yep.
a hint of a step forward this year, I think they can. And like as I say, like questions abound in the NFC West with the Rams and the Seahawks, and I mean obviously the Niners as well. With like, what weapons do they even really have on offense outside of McCaffrey and Pearsall? But the Cards, I mean, if they realize that Marvin Harrison Jr. is fucking awesome and throw him the ball occasionally, like that'd be kind of nice. I think it's
Mm.
like a weird sort of like under the radar kind of team, right? Like I kind of don't mind the Cards. Let's go 11-6 over.
I think I've had that expectation for a couple of years where it's been like I'm waiting for Kyler to be, that standout. I still have no faith in the coaching staff over there. And we saw Harrison would have flashes of what was expected of him in his rookie season, and then kind of go missing. Which obviously he can only catch what he's thrown. McBride is going to be fucking awesome this year, but it just feels like outside Harrison, you've got Michael Wilson and Zay Jones. That doesn't scare people, and Greg Dortch, who I keep forgetting still exists.
Love that.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. You've got James Conner and then not a lot behind him. I don't feel that I had the faith in. Well, maybe I'm burnt because I was hopeful for them the last 2-3 years. But in this, I guess, competitive division, I'm gonna assume that they're gonna take the step back. So I'm gonna put them down for 8 wins and go the under.
Righto. I'm going to amend that because I got to get a win from somewhere for the Packers as I amend mine. So I'll actually make them 10-7. I feel a lot better about that.
Okay.
Niners.
Okay.
Niners is 10.5. Hard to get a read on this one too. I'll tell you what, because when you think about this Niners team, you go, oh well. You see, they've got a really good. Oh wait, they've got no one left on offense. Oh shit, right? They've got no one. So
Yep.
Ricky Pearsall, they've got McCaffrey. You've paid Brock Purdy now. The defense is still like, I don't know, very like oddly sketchy when it comes to the secondary. So I feel like they go 11-5 last year. Oh no, 6-11 last year. What am I saying? The over under last year was 11-5, 11.5 rather. I think they just slip under this one in 10-7. I think they're going to be solid because they just got fucking poleaxed by injuries last year, right? I think if they get a little bit and just stay healthier, I think they'll be a little bit more solid, a lot more consistent, and get to that 10 win mark and tie it up with the Cards.
I think we're in the it's a 2 year cycle, right? It's a 2 year cycle of the 49ers do a deep playoff run and just miss out, and then next year they get injury ridden and they're fucked, right? And last year was the injury ridden. But when you look at that, you look at what's already on offense. There's a lot of red letters on their depth chart, Jim, is what I'm going to say. We've got Carter Bradley IR. We've got bunch of IR, a bit of suspension, a lot of outs, a lot of questionables, and we haven't even really got to the first game yet. I don't really think. Look, Dwan Jennings, yes, he came on in spurts and got himself a nice contract. Brandon Ayuk, like fuck, but De- Debo wasn't great last year. Needed to be moved on, but he was a threat. Like you had to pay attention to him, right? I just don't see that Russell Gage Jr. is your third, wide receiver. I don't know. I think this team's taken a step back, just in general. I think their window's closing. They haven't topped up as they should. When the big celebrated move in the last month was getting Sky Moore, great, sure, okay. But yeah, I'm not on the 49ers this year, so I'm definitely going the under.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not wildly convinced, but I think they just get a little bit more healthy. And like if Kittle is there, McCaffrey's there, that gives them something. And if Pearsall's
yeah,
actually pretty good, if Juwan Jennings is okay, like fucking who knows. But yeah, 10-7,
yeah.
still going the under. The NFC East, home of the Super Bowl champion. Fly, Eagles, fly. Philly with an 11.5 over under Garrington. How are you feeling about your beloved Philadelphia? I have them at 12-5 after going 14-3 last year. I think
Yeah.
super duper fucking healthy. I think wasn't it on the was it the O line was like really healthy last year at times and shit like
Yeah.
that. I think maybe a couple of weird little bit less injury luck. Away we go. 12.5 though still feels very solid, and that's still an over.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would put us down for 12. I don't think we'll win as many games as last year. Look, I do love the fact that we got that record last year and we were trying to fire the coach after the first 4 weeks, right? When it all clicked, Vic Fangio, finding people like Zach Bourne, who was just fucking godsend, right? From backup player to all pro. And then we've invested a first rounder in a fucking linebacker, which has just never happened. There are some question marks. We did lose Slay, and the question mark is at outside corner, opposed from him. We're going to be relying on a rookie at safety, and we have lost a bit of our depth at the O line. So as you said, we stayed really healthy last year. We've lost Becton in the off season, and already got some injury troubles early days. So I think we'll win less games than last year, but not a massive step back because I've picked us as a Super Bowl going for the repeat, starting the dynasty, right? Some of the rookies who had outstanding performances last year, your Cooper DeJeans and your Quinion Mitchells, like they're going to be a year smarter. So I think I'll go the over, but I think around that 12-13 is about the right point.
Yeah, there's like a stretch in the middle where they play like the Packers and then home for the Lions, uh,
Yeah,
and then at the Cowboys again, and it's like that's a fascinating little run. And you finish
yeah.
off with two of the last three games are against the commies, and who knows what the fuck they're going to be like this year.
And then Buffalo in between there. It's that division winner schedule where you're paying all the division winners from the other teams, the other divisions, and that makes it really fucking hard. And Everyone regresses to the mean, right?
I do. Speaking of which, Dallas, they were 7-10 last year. The over under this year was 7.5. You can probably find 6.5 now as well without Micah. I had them at 9-8, and I'm now switching that probably at least to 8-9. I'll give the commies
Mm.
or maybe the Giants another win here, just because. Yeah, I don't believe. I do not believe. I think the 7.5 is still pretty chaotic. They've got no run game. The offense will be a lot of Dak. He'll probably get hurt. That's what he does. Do you see any sort of like cause for optimism here? Because I don't really. Like, I don't think the defense.
Their vibes are
Yeah.
their vibes are fucking horrible, right? Um, Look, and this isn't just me picking on them, or it's well documented my hatred for the Dallas Cowboys. But I hate to say it, but when he is healthy, Dak is fucking good. He puts up the yards. He's got two weapons now. Last time he had two weapons, as in two quality wide receivers. They were a playoff team, right? So he can make this work. They can put up points. No one's scared of that run game, as you said. Um, Got Miles Sanders now, who's like, oft injured, never been good since left the Eagles, but it's a revenge tour for him. But yeah, that defense, so many questions now, right? Like stopping the run last year was the legit problem of this team. So they're trying to fix that, but I think they're a season away from actually being able to do it properly. So, look, I think around that 6 or 7 is probably around right. I'll stick with the under there, particularly after losing Micah. That pass rush is going to need some help.
Yeah. I'm going to stick at 9-8 for the minute. And probably by the time we get to our next Tuesday show, I might have a better fucking handle on just what I think about Dallas. Because I don't know,
Mhm.
it does really sort of change up their outlook, which is fucking crazy to say, but here we are. The Commanders 9.5 was their over under. I've actually gone under by going 9-8 because I think like there is already the oft repeated phrase so far. This is the oldest team since like like 1990 or some shit.
Yeah.
A week one, which is crazy. Um, Jaden Daniels like took everyone by surprise last year. I think there's probably scope for people to be not surprised this year by him. They went 12-5 last year, harder schedule, 9-8, a little bit of a step back, maybe a couple more injuries. You're trying to get Debo in there next to Scary Terry, who hasn't played any preseason games as he's holding in, gets his contract. The running back situation where it's like we've got Bill and everyone's losing their shit about Bill. It's like, yeah, but he was also still a 7th rounder, so let's fucking just pump the brakes a little bit.
Yep.
Just think it's like an inevitable hint of a step back for me. People are like fucking super down on them though. I don't think they're going to be that shit. I think they'll still be good, but I'm still going to just go the under 9-8, under the 9.5, Gaz.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I think that's a very fair assessment. They've been milking as much as they possibly can out of the twilights of the careers of some of these guys like Lattimore and Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz and all that sort of stuff. So they'll fall off a cliff at some point, you've got to think, and hopefully the guys that the commies have picked up on the way through will help build that. But it seems like uh, it's going to be very difficult to repeat what they did last year. So I'm just going to sneak in the under, and I think that nine wins is about right.
And who else did they pick up on Von Miller as well on defense, didn't they? It's like,
Yes, yeah, that's true.
it's like, all right, cool. Right.
Yep.
All right, unders for look, Jaden Daniels, I love it. I just feel like this year it's going to be a little bit tougher. And then
Yeah.
the Giants, 5.5 is their over under. Last year they went 3-14, but now they actually have like someone who can throw a ball and isn't like, I mean, he's not great, but he's not wildly shit house. Russell Wilson backed up by Jameson. They've got Jackson Dart there as well. They've got a terrifying defensive front. Outside of that, not much else is really going on. 5.5. I've just gone under 5-12. I think they go a little bit better than last year because they've got a quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still shit, guys.
Yeah. Look, definitely. But I think there's definitely some wins here. What's the over under? I can see them looking down that schedule. it feels like, um, where am I looking at them now? I feel like who are they going to beat? New Orleans, probably. Uh, you guys, and actually, fuck, I was thinking a safe six here, but now I'm looking at their schedule. It's pretty damn tough,
It's
right?
yeah,
Because they've got
like
two against Washington, two against us. Obviously, you almost chalk those down as losses. They got KC, they got Denver, they got San Fran, Chicago, Green Bay. We're playing the North clearly, and Vegas that we're not sure about. So look, yeah, it could be. It's going to be a hard fought fight, to be fair.
yeah.
I think I was thinking I was going to go the over and give him a bit more credit. Having like that defensive front is going to be brutal, and Rusty just needs to be a game manager and get the ball to neighbours, right? That's just that. Put up 14, 20 points, and hopefully that defense doesn't let anyone get away with anything. But as we saw last year, if you do have a quality offensive line that can hold off that defensive front even a little bit, and you can go over the top, they're susceptible in the backfield in the secondary. So yeah, I reckon I'm going to go 5. Here's me thinking that I was going to give him a bit more credit, but looking at that schedule, I'm not.
It is hard. Like I'm looking at it as well, and like so when I did all these, I'm looking through it. I'm like, look, there'll be a couple of teams that we don't expect it to just like randomly shit house, right? Like the
Yep.
Vikings might suck when they play them at home on fucking the week of Christmas, right? They might just pull one out.
Yep.
Maybe JJ McCarthy's just like falling off a cliff or something. There'll be a couple of random ones there, but yeah, it is fucking hard to get to 5 wins because that schedule is brutal. But that's it. That's the NFC. So last year with our over unders went 23-9, right? For the wins and the losses, which is pretty bloody good. So we nailed our shit.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
This year, we've got the overs and the unders sort of laid out. We'll see how we go. If we want to go through all of them really quickly, go back to the AFC. We had Baltimore over, Cincy under, Pittsburgh over, Cleveland under.
Mm-hmm.
The East, Buffalo over, Miami over, which I'm already feeling bad about. I feel like that could just go fucking super sideways really quickly, but here we are. Jets under, Pats under, because it's 8.5. I've got them at 8 and 9. AFC South, Texans over, Jags over, Colts under, Titans under. AFC West was Chiefs under the 11.5 at 11 and 6. Chargers over, Broncos over, Raiders just under in one of the toughest fought divisions in there. Then the NFC. In the NFC North, the Packers over, Lions over, Bears over, Vikings under. Ooh, it's a tricky one, that one. And the NFC South, Bucks over, Falcons over, just Panthers. I've gone under, you've gone over. Saints both gone under. West is the Rams. Under for me, over for you. Seahawks just over. Cards, I've gone over, you've gone under. Niners under the 10.5. And then finally, Philly, both gone over for your beloved Eagles. Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys is weird. You've gone under, I think, initially, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then I had written over, but I might end up passing out a couple of those wins elsewhere. Commies, slight under, 9 and 8, and then the Giants under 2. So let's see how we go this year, Gaz. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was very fun, but either way, that's all the over under.
There's definitely some that I would absolutely not put any money on because there are questions just all over the place. Or you're taking a flyer going, you know what, I'm going to go the under because Matt Stafford's back fucked. Or, someone's going to come out of nowhere. Or you think the over's low, even though there's so many question marks on that team, you just got to throw a couple of bucks down.
Yep. Yeah. It is chaos, but it's going to be really fun either way. And I guess, well, there you go. That's 2 shows split. Well, one big show split into 2. Done over 2 days. It's basically 2 shows. Everyone just fucking said me. But we'll be back next week for the week 1 preview, Gaz. Can you believe it? Because the season's basically here.
Week 1.
What we're also going to do, though, is we're going to have a bunch of season predictions. We'll preview week 1, do all the picks for that. We'll recap our fantasy draft, which is happening this weekend, which is very fun.
Sunday night.
I'll also have my usual annual 10 best bets. We'll do the awards as well, right? So our predictions for MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, all that sort of gear. So it's going to be a chockers fun one too. So I'm excited. You excited, Gaz?
Excellent. I am excited. I'll be more excited when I go have a beer and knock the rust off this hangover.
Nice.
But I'm sure I'll be excited. Now, 1 week away. I'm now going to work out how I can catch up on work just enough that I can take next Friday off for Cowboys Eagles, because that's going to be a fucking cracker. We are just going to hear about Micah Parsons for 3 hours.
Yeah, where are we drinking watching that game? Jesus Christ, that is.
So I do know that if you're in Sydney at the Sherwood Hotel, the Eagles Australia fan page is getting some fans together, and then in Melbourne they're doing Sporting Globe in Richmond.
Oh, nice. That'd be fun.
Yeah, so anyone can get along to that. And don't forget, obviously, we've got our Sparrows cheesesteak tipping. So jump on to. Did we put the link in the last episode, Jimmy? I forgot to send it to you.
Yeah, I don't think I did.
It's literally cheesesteaktipping.com. It's literally that simple. Cheesesteaktipping.com. It's Sparrow's cheesesteak. I'm hoping that if we spruik it enough, we get free food out of it, Jim, because that's my waistline needs that right now. But yeah, it's free. Get in, pick the games, hopefully win a cheesesteak if you're in Melbourne.
Nice one. All right, you can also check out all the Jim Does Supercoach gear for all your NFL Supercoach stuff, fantasy as well. We'll be updating that all the way through the season as well. So Supercoach Fantasy will be a part of the weekly shows. And there'll be the weekly breakout videos that we'll be doing. Plenty going on. So make sure you're following it across all the socials, all that sort of good stuff. Make sure you're subscribed across all the places you get your podcast, but also jump on the YouTube. I don't know if both these over-unders are actually going to make it up on the YouTube because of a bunch of fuck arounds of the video aspect, but we'll see.
Yeah. Me doing this shit from a hotel room is not fantastic, Jim.
We'll see. Right. Like, I'm going to under promise and maybe not even deliver. So just either way, big thanks always go to House Hats for the intro and outro song. They rule. Go listen to them. And that's it. I don't know. We'll catch you
Excellent.
for the week 1 preview. Cannot fucking wait. That's going to be an absolute rip schnorter. All right. Well, we'll catch you then, you dickheads.
See yous.
Later, hoses.
I grip, that is all I can do. Not much to look at when it rips and the tar runs through, filling my eyes with